Hello, fiber fans, friends, and followers. My name is Beth, and I am here to talk to you about all of the Christmassy yarny things I've gotten into in the past or in the present. Today, I will be talking about all of the stuff that I have that I've already knit that is Christmassy. I will be talking about the whips that I have that I am working on to hopefully get finished for Christmas. I have a Sandy Bag winner to announce. I recorded that already this morning, so I will insert that somewhere in the episode. And I have one thing that is a work in progress that I have previously talked about that I have a little bit of an update on, and the rest is going to be all Christmas focused. So if you're a fan of Christmas as much as I am, get comfy and let's talk Christmas knits. Okay. Today what I am wearing is Fallow. This is a pattern by Anne Michelle Phelan, and it is knit in Maelstrom Fiber Arts Zebra DK. That is this Dayglow yellow grinchy green colorway, and it is my brown color for the deer on it is Nerdy Sheep DK in the natural colorway. This was a fun and easy knit. I believe this is a circular yoke. I'm not seeing raglans on it. It's been a while since I knit this pattern, but it was a lot of fun to knit. I have been considering adding a little red nose on the center reindeer. I did count them the other day. I think there's like 12 of them or 11, something like that. So not quite the right number, but close enough. If I put a red nose on the reindeer in the middle, I don't think anyone around me is going to be counting to see if I have the right number. So that is my thinking on this. I love the fit of this. I remember knitting it and enjoying doing it. I don't recall having any difficulties with it. Except that, as usual, I ran short of time, and I remember wearing this to school as a cropped sweater with of course a turtleneck underneath. So that's this one. I do have another one that I've listed in my show notes below as a finished object, despite the fact it is not a recent finished object. But it is the one and only other Christmas sweater that I wear that isn't truly a Christmas knit, but I feel like it's got that holiday vibe to it. Because I used a sparkle yarn base. And so this is, let me hold it up nice and close for you to see. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in that. It's actually an overcast day. And I did talk on my last episode about lighting. And because of that, I did order a ring light. It hasn't arrived yet because I don't subscribe to Prime, so I have to wait. Anyhow, this sweater is the Seashell Sweater Light. It is a pattern by Minimi Knit Designs, and I used Why Not Fibers Stardust base, and that's where the sparkle is. There's a bit of a gold sparkle. It's hard to tell if you can see that in there, but it's a short sleeved shell, and I believe it was intended as a summer knit because I did test knit this in the summertime, and she used just I want to say like a superwash and nylon DK based yarn, and I used a fingering weight held together with a I believe it was alpaca, a Surrey alpaca, which was Northern Bee Studio Cloud. and I could not find a colorway listed for that one. So this, I feel like, is a fun, not so Christmassy looking thing, but this is something that is a basic piece that anybody could knit, and you could make it into a Christmassy looking thing, or it could be used just as a fancy whatever, or you can even make it casual. If you look at the Ravelry page for this project, that's what I believe it was intended for. So just a little idea for those of you who are looking to knit something Christmassy, but you don't want it so kitschy Christmas like I like. I am into the Christmas kitsch. Okay, the next thing I want to go into is my works in progress. And so I have a couple of, I have 3 things that are not Christmas per se, but they kind of, well, one is definitely totally unrelated. The rest have a link to Christmas that I'll talk about when I get to them. My first one is my Prairie cardigan. This is a pattern by Locatelli. And on my last episode, I had talked about how I was getting close to knitting the lower ribbing on it. And I wanted to first do something about the unevenness on it at the hem. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess so. Hem. So, you know what? I think I'm going to pause here, take off the heavy sweater, put this on so that you can see what I'm talking about, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the sweater, and this is the length of it right now. It is still slightly elevated in front, but I added short rows to change that so that it is not as prominent as it was before. My intention was to actually get it to be fully even across the bottom, but I didn't want to just keep adding and adding and adding short rows. What I did, I'll take it off so I can show the specifics on that. What I did is I went with each section so you can see, sorry, my needles are scraping against the table here. So you can see where the stitch markers are that designate each section for the texture. I knit to the first stitch marker and then came back. And then I went to the second and came back. And then the third and came back. So that's how I sort of evened it out. And I only went to, I believe, the first underarm. 6 sections is what I recall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is the armhole above that. So the 6th one and the armhole is right above that. So that's what I did. It's right to the center of the thing. And I definitely like it better this way. I think I'm going to go a little longer in the ribbing than what Hohi recommends in the pattern. Just because I do want a little bit longer of a cardigan, although I may end up seeing a big stretch in blocking. So maybe I should block it first. All this extra work, you guys. You know what? When you want something to fit correctly, it's worth the extra work. So I probably, now that I'm thinking about it, for some reason, talking out loud about these things really helps me process. So if it's just inside my head, it doesn't seem to get out as easily, which is why I like to talk about this on camera or at knit night with my friends or whatever the case may be. So now that I'm talking about it, I think I will block that before I decide how long I'm going to knit my ribbing on it. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So that is my one completely un-Christmas related thing. That I said that in a very non-grammatical way. And I even think the word non-grammatical is non-grammatical. Anyhow, okay, the next thing that I am working on that is, I feel like marginally Christmas related, only in the sense that it is not the traditional Christmas colors, is my, I'm gonna fold this up. This is the inspiration, I suppose, behind the Advent sock. This is one of those self-striping yarns. This is from Kirby Wirby, and she has an Advent self-striping sock. And the difference between hers and the other ones that I've seen is that it's not necessarily in day order. So this is your warning that if you're knitting it and you are not, you do not want spoilers, I'm not sure how exactly that works, because mine started from 15 and I figured this out by emailing her. Is it Cherie? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what your name is. But the owner of Kirby Wirby Yarns, she's a delightful woman. But I emailed her because I thought I must have the wrong yarn, because it's not following the beginning of this and it's not following the end of this. So I sent her a picture and said, is this the right thing? And she said, oh, actually, that is the right one. Yours starts at number 15 and it's going backwards. So, if you don't want to see day 15 of Kirby Wirby Yarns Christmas Advent sock, then look away now, because I'm about to hold up my first, I believe it was 5 stripes in the Kirby Wirby yarn. I haven't knit today's stripe. So here it is. It starts with, and if you're not wanting to be spoiled on anything, go forward a bit, because I'm about to say the day's colors as well as the day's names. Actually, it starts with 14, not 15. 14 is strawberry shortcakes. So I forgot to mention, this is 80s toys is what the theme is. I'm not sure if that showed when I showed the picture. So 14 is strawberry shortcake, the color pink. 13 is peaches and cream Barbie. 12 is Puffalumps. I don't remember the Puffalumps toy. Do you guys remember that one? Not at all. 11 is Etch-a-Sketch in gray, which makes sense. And then 10 is Rainbow Bright in Rainbow Bright Shy Violet, which is this purple colorway. So I'm not even sure I finished that colorway on day 5. I just decided to stop at that point for whatever reason. I think I've been knitting this at break times at work, but I think it's very pretty. it just doesn't say Christmas to me, which that's whatever. This was a last minute decision. I saw it. I'm not sure if it was through email or what it was, but she said she had her self-striping Advents yarn available, and I thought, I'm jumping on this. So yeah, I'm not sure. She said something in the email about she doesn't know how other self-striping dyers are able to start at the same stripe for every time. And she said that she cuts the yarn at every 50 grams in order to make that 50 gram cake or hank. And then she does make sure that she gets two together that are the same stripes. So I don't understand how that works, that it wouldn't come out the same way every time, especially since it is 100 grams. I don't know. I don't understand the self-striping dye process enough to understand why that's not working for her, where other self-striping dyers are able to be consistent with their 100 grams of self-striping Advent yarn. So that's that for my vanilla socks. I'm just doing a toe-up vanilla sock. I looked up a toe-up sock knit just to remember how many to cast on and then increase from there, because normally I do cuff down, but I wanted to maximize this yarn, so I did start toe-up. Next on my list, this is a fun one. Okay. This is not Christmas, but for me, it is Christmas related because I am a teacher's aide for 2nd and 3rd grade students at my school. And I don't know if you guys have 2nd and or 3rd graders in your life, but the big popular thing right now is Labubus. And I found, I'm digging through my bag. I'm sorry if you're hearing all this crinkling and everything, because I probably have buried the thing that I'm looking for at the bottom. And I did. Okay. So, it's a hair clip. This is so messy in back, you guys. This was my first attempt at a Labubu. I do have eyes for this, but is that not the cutest thing? And it looks just like a Labubu. So I would like for my inner ear to go down a little bit more, but this was my first attempt, and I thought I'll do green because green is a color that I like, and I thought I'm gonna make this for me. And then on the day that I give these to my students, then I can wear mine too. So I do have glue somewhere to glue these eyes on. I did not get sew on eyes. I got glue on eyes. The pattern says to get a 5x7mm eye, and I bought some that are a little bit bigger than that. I bought little Google eyes at Hobby Lobby, and they actually, I'll insert a picture because I did take a picture with the eyes just kind of sitting on it, and that's what's on my Ravelry page. So if you look at the links below and click on my Labubu thing, I think that goes straight to, that actually goes to the pattern. But if you look at my Ravelry page, you can see that as a work in progress that I have right now. So I'm using a sparkle yarn for the black outline to make the top of the mouth. And then I am using this. This is the only yarn that I actually bought for this. This is from Hobby Lobby. It is Artiste, and it is 100% mercerized Egyptian cotton, and it is like a super fine, like a single. See how thin that is? That's like not even fingering weight. What do we call that? Lightweight? Words escape me. Lace weight. Lace weight. Anyhow, so I have picked out a bunch of scraps that I'm going to use for my students and the colors that they like for the outlines. I did ask a couple of students what their favorite colors were. So this is just all old yarn that I had for different projects. I have started a bunch of faces. So I've got a whole bunch of them just ready to add the outlines to and throw on the ears and get them going. Hobby Lobby has, and I think you can probably get this on Amazon too, hair clips. Like by, let's see, how many are in here? Maybe it's the fact that I'm not wearing glasses. Definitely it's the fact that, why do they put things on these packages so small? It says 2-inch hair clip with 3 holes. And there are, why doesn't it say how many are in here? Oh, 30 pieces. 30 pieces. My thumb was covering it. And it's super tiny. So if you have anybody in your life, this is a free pattern. I have linked it below. Any young girls love these. I even bought, for the one boy student I have, Hobby Lobby had these keychain things. So I'm going to put one on a keychain for him. And yeah. So this is my holiday gift to my students. And I could not be more excited about this because they love Labubus. I'm not the biggest fan. I think they're odd. But, you know, to each his own. Or her. So, the other thing, as a new to me, I wanted to just mention, this is all I have right now that's new to me. When I went to Hobby Lobby, I picked up some Yarn Bee scrubby yarn in Christmas colors. And I'm thinking that I will give these, make scrubbies for coworkers. I thought that would be a fun thing. We'll see what kind of time I have, you guys. I have way too many plans. And my nephew is expecting a baby. There's a shower tomorrow. So I got to go to that too, which is in a place that's 1.5 hours away from here. So that's 3 hours driving alone, plus however long the actual party lasts. So that's less knitting time for me. Anyhow, I'm excited to go. Don't get me wrong. I'm just mentioning that as part of what part of the time that I don't have to knit, because I will be driving. My mom is not driving. So where do I want to go next? Okay, drum roll please. Incoming Sandy Bag winner. I don't have as many comments on last week's video as I ordinarily feel like I get for these bags. Let me show you again. I got it's sort of an avalanche of things next to me. So this is the bag that I will be giving to the lucky winner that is in this hat. It is a bag that is made by Sandy, a friend of mine who makes bags for podcasters. It has a pocket. It has a nice rectangle bottom. It's huge. It holds a whole lot of stuff. It has an outside pocket, and I will be sending this to the person whose name I draw out of my hat. Now, I don't often remember to say this is specifically for U.S. residents, and I think I still can mail to Canada. I'm not sure if the rates have gone up extremely in the last few months or whatever. But if you are in Europe and potentially Canada, or any other place in the world, I will offer a pattern $10 US or less in value. So, that is my personal rule, because actually my channel makes $0.00. So, I am really on my own little budget here. So, and especially with, we just redid the flooring, the holidays are coming, all that good stuff. Anyhow, let me draw a name, because this should be the exciting part of the show, not the boring, let me give you all the legal info. So hopefully one of these ends up popping out of here soon, and I will be reading a name that is on a little piece of paper that I wrote the name on. They start flying out, and then they don't stay out. So, this one fell out first. There were two that fell out. There was one in my lap, but the one that fell on the floor fell out first. So, it is Wild Knit Diva. So, if you are Wild Knit Diva, please send me an email and let me know your address and your actual name so that I can mail this out to you. I hope you are a U.S. resident, so I can go ahead and send that right on out to you, or potentially Canada. We'll see if shipping prices are what they should be. So otherwise, a pattern, and I will redraw for names on this bag if that's the case. Thank you for your comments, and congratulations to you, Wild Knit Diva. Send that email out, and I will get right on shipping that out to you. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So on my last episode, I talked to you about how I had started the Fjellrein sweater. This is a pattern by Saskie Co. And I was debating what I'm going to do about dividing for arms. And I got myself behind on this. I did, in case you haven't seen it, I recorded a short about this. I blocked this and decided that I am ready to go on with it. So here it is. And this under the arms, so below the bust, will have reindeer heads on it. So I just think this is such a cute pattern. I can't wait to get it completed. But what I did, so this is Fjellrein. Yarns are listed below. I'm gonna go on into what happened to distract me from this. So I decided that for the reindeer, I don't want to just do brown for the antlers because I only have that one color of brown. Okay, I'm inserting a little bit because I just looked in my bag. I had forgotten that I did this. I knit a little swatch with the brown reindeer. And I feel like, especially those eyes look a little creepy to me. So the reindeer head in just one color, it's fine. I don't hate it. I just feel like the antlers should stand out more as antlers. And I don't know. We'll see where I go with this. It's just, I feel like whenever I get to a point in a project where I'm not sure where I want to go, I just stop. And that's not the way to get things finished, you guys. Okay, back to me. So the original pattern has like a light brown and a darker brown. And I believe the darker brown was the antlers and the lighter brown was the reindeer head. So I was thinking, she also has snowflakes in the pattern, which I would like those to be white. So I was thinking that if I finish another project that I have that has white in it, that I could use the leftovers of this yarn for the antlers and the snowflakes. And as I go on knitting this one, I think I may not have what I need. So, have you been with me since the beginning? Have you seen what I've done in the past? This one goes way back. I believe it was 2022 that I first started these socks. This is Nordavind, and Nordavind is a pattern by Inger Berg. And I had started these years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at these on the screen and I'm loving how this pattern is coming out. So they're sort of a poinsettia-ish looking pattern. I have not yet gotten to the biggest flower on it or snowflake or whatever it actually is. I don't now think that I'm going to have enough white yarn left over from this to use on my sweater. So now I'm thinking I need to divert my attention again, because as much as I love knitting these and as cute as I think these socks are, I think, and by the way, these are a DK weight sock. All I wrote for this is that it's Barocco DK. I don't remember what the colorways are. I don't have the yarn bands in here. I don't know what I did with that. I don't know if that's on my Ravelry page or not. So that's what's in the show notes, and that's what I found as I was trying to get together show notes for today. So anyway, when I first knit these, I was new to socks with color work. And so they were super tight. So I now am knitting in the way that I know to get good gauge on color work socks, which is inside out. So here's the inside. See my floats? Whoa. Actually, I think I like the inside better. I think my floats look better than the outside. I'm not sure I like my tension from the outside. Anyway, I think everything will be fine in the end, but these, I'm loving the process of it. And I think that sort of distracted me from remembering that I need to get these done quickly and get on to the sweater, or else I'm not going to have the sweater to wear this Christmas. So this that's typical me though, something new and shiny comes in and I go that way and forget about the other thing. Speaking of which, let's see, I think that's where I am on my, yes, I'm following show notes to the T, you guys. Okay, so that brings me to Hinterland. If you've been following along with me, if you've seen, so like the Nordavind socks, that initiated in my first year of podcasting, I believe, when I decided to do a Christmas in July, because I was new to the whole thing of podcasting and sort of feeling like I was out of ideas. And I believe Hinterland began at the same time. And I wanted to do it in very Christmassy colors. So I bought multiple skeins of this yarn. It looks pink, but it's pink and red. I think it gives an overall pink feel, but there is definitely red in it. This is a color work pattern, and here's what happened with that. Whoops, didn't finish the sleeves. So I am ready to move on with this one too. Hinterland is, I think you could do it. If you see I'll have it up here. I'm sure you've already seen this because by now, talking about it, in editing, I've put up a picture. The designer did it in non-traditional Christmas colors, and it's just gorgeous. I don't know whether she meant it to be a Christmas pattern or not. I wanted to knit it as a very Christmassy looking thing, and over the years had multiple issues with this because it kept going into hibernation. It would come out during the holidays and then go back into hibernation after. And so that, I think, is my general holiday knitting problem. I think I get these ideas like, oh, I want to make things for people. And then when the crunch time is here and I don't have time to keep going, that's when things run off the rails for me. So, I love Christmas knitting. I'm a very distractible person. And I wish I knew how to get myself on track and stay there. So, with that being said, with all these things being shown, if you are interested in more information, check in the description below. I know I did not list out all of my yarns, and that's because it's been a long time since I've knit some of these things, but this one, this is a Long Dog Yarns Colorway poinsettia. Speaking of which, I hope to have a new one over here for the next episode so that you can see my lovely holiday festivity. I'm also behind on decorating the house. Sump pump went out. Everything to distract me from actually knitting. And so I will come back in my next episode with updates on everything, and maybe even I'll have a short here and there in between episodes. But in my next episode, I do intend to announce the next prompt for a Sandy bag. I'll see if I can find one that has a little holiday feel to it. Not sure if I have one. I haven't looked through them. So that's the plan. And I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you all are enjoying your holiday season. And until we meet again, keep thriving. Remember to like, subscribe, survive, and thrive. And I'll see you in the next episode.